A licensed psychologist who was hired by the VA, who works at the VA based out of Georgia, felt like it would be a great idea to not only share personal details from someone's therapy sessions in YouTube, even though they are de-identified, as content. She used his therapy sessions as inspiration for content. And it wouldn't have been a big deal. We would have never known, but she plugged her YouTube channel to him, right? So then when she decides to improperly terminate therapy, she just tells him, oh, I'm moving, but I'll see you in a few weeks. And then was like, oh, no, you're not coming back to me. After that is when he's like, oh, let me go check out these YouTube channels, see what she says. When two of the video titles are literal things that verbatim are things that him and I share in our discussions. And it's extremely frustrating because this actually opened up like a Pandora's box, because you can say, those videos aren't about you. Okay, fine. So we'll set that aside. But the more I dig, the more I feel like the evidence not only shows that I'm correct, but it also shows that she doesn't know how to do a risk assessment. Okay, it's a woman that is a licensed psychologist. She has much more education than me. It's a much more rigorous program than I would have had as an addiction counselor. So like, I just don't get it. Like, it's almost like arrogance at the incompetence. It has to be, because why else would you flaunt that level of incompetence, right? And then, as if that wasn't enough, we have documentation where she writes that nobody was in the home while she was providing telehealth, and that is not true. And she conducted trauma therapy for the entire 60 minutes instead of doing what I would call like a cool down period or aftercare. Somebody's talking about something challenging, you take the last few minutes of the session and you bring them back to it. You talk about coping skills, give them a crisis plan, give them, this is what you do if you're experiencing this. She didn't do any of that. She didn't do any of that. She didn't do any of that at all. And I have the notes that prove it. So I filed a complaint with anybody and everybody and their mother. And I mean, unfortunately, this is just a problem in general with mental health. Like, it's not even specific to the VA. However, the VA should be setting the standard for everyone else, seeing as we just had 20 years of people in Iraq and Afghanistan, right? So they should be actually setting that bar pretty high, and they're not. They're not. I've seen shitty ass counselors in Medicaid mills do a better job than she did. And, this is one of those things. This is why we have the 22 a day statistic, because you have people slipping through the cracks. And, clients should not be content. Okay. If you want to talk about your specific niche, or you want to talk about something in psychology that fascinates you, fine. But you get on YouTube and you start talking about things that somebody has shared in therapy, it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. And I'm not even going to get into like some of the other things that she did right now. But it's extremely disheartening. It's extremely frustrating. I feel like I'm standing at the top of a mountain and screaming at the top of my lungs, and nobody cares at all. I literally have written anyone and everyone I can think of. I just wrote the House Committee and the Senate Committee for Veterans Affairs. I wrote the president. I wrote the vice president. And I don't even like the president, but like, fuck, I'm just, somebody please hear our story, because this could have been so much worse. You could have had one or two people no longer here because of the negligence that this woman provided in therapy, because that's all she provided was negligence. So yeah, I don't know what else to do. Working on my federal filing now, because I don't expect the government to settle with me on the tort claim. So I've been working on that and trying to make it look more organized and professional. And then I found an attorney who can't take my case and won't take my case, but they will review my filing before I file, and they will help me understand any offers that might be sent to me. But yeah, that's where I'm at.